Hey, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Boo. Boo. What's going on? Oh great, what do you want? You're here to make a video and then what? Ghost for 3 months? Didn't you quit your job for this? No, she got fired. I'm trying to make a video explaining what was going on. This ought to be good. My name's Zipporah if you're new here. I know it's been a while. I am going to be very open and honest about my mental health and other experiences that I've been dealing with. I'm willing to put myself on blast once again for the benefit of someone who might see this. You know, try not to judge me too hard. And if you do, okay, whatever. A view's a view. So I was working at this factory and I had to work myself from a temp to a full-time employee. Some of the people who had worked there, they didn't get hired until well after being there for a year. And I think 90 days is good enough. Come on. They mentally broke you down and made you feel like crap for being a temp, so that when you finally reach that status of a full-time employee, then it was a way bigger deal. Even after I found out that I was pregnant, I still was busting my butt. You couldn't even tell until about maybe 6.5, 7 months when I started to experience pains in my stomach. I had to get restrictions from my doctor. When I turned in that restriction paper is when everything went downhill. All of a sudden I was an awful employee. All of the hard work had just been thrown out the window. I even got severely bullied by another coworker who had just had a baby for being pregnant, every morning yelling and screaming about me, talking crap behind my back. It was ridiculous. I did make some really good friends, but as far as leadership and what they would allow, it just showed me how much they really did not care about the well-being of their workers. I actually ended up pushing myself so hard that I had to be put on bed rest. I still ended up having my daughter early. I was off for 3 months, stuck in the house, single mom, 2 kids, in quarantine, and I was excited to get back. Dove right in there. And then I started to realize the more that I did, the less respect that I was getting. My leadership didn't really appreciate all of the things that I was doing and just expected more and more and more out of me. I was getting taken advantage of. I decided I'm getting out of here because I already knew that I still have bigger dreams than working in a factory until I die. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it just was not for me. I ended up getting fired. To be fired from a job was definitely a big hit to my ego, especially when I worked so hard. I had left my phone on the line, and so my old supervisor had to bring it to me. He handed it to the HR lady, walked right past me, and didn't even look at me. Just acted like I wasn't there. That hurt my feelings. You couldn't even look at me and say bye. Oh well, I was gonna quit anyway. That just is how it is. So once I got over that, I just dove into my social media. When you're doing social media, you need to do it because you have a passion for it and you love it. And if you just care about views and about money, I can tell you firsthand, you won't be happy. And I get this DM from a lady who works for Love What Matters. And she was like, hey, I've seen your post. I would love for you to submit your story to our website. When you start actively using Instagram, you'll get all kinds of random DMs from scam artists. I checked out her website and it was way better than mine because I don't have one, but it just was real corny. So I kind of blew her off. And she's like, hey, did you think about it? Are you interested? What's going on? And I was like, well, I'm not really a writer. I do videos. And she was like, oh, that's perfect. We set up this interview and I was like, okay, why would I shut down some free publicity? Who does that? My mom was like, do they have a Facebook page? I was like, oh. And they had over 8 million followers. Holy cow, what? Oh my gosh. And I was gonna just not do it. What was I thinking? Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity. I just felt so humbled. We did the interview. It was posted on their Facebook, their Instagram, their YouTube channel, and I believe on their website. Instead of just being happy that almost 50,000 people had seen my interview, I looked at the few comments that were negative and I took those to heart. And I chose to focus on those instead of all the positivity that was now surrounding me and my channel. Something that you really can't allow yourself to do when you work in social media, because it will just ruin everything. I felt like a fraud. You're not even taking your own advice. Making videos about being a single mom it made me feel like I was always gonna be a single mom. And I started my other channel and it was fun and blah blah blah, but the views weren't the same. I decided to check back up on my TikTok. When I was making TikToks, I was getting very good views. Eventually, I just was like, I'm just gonna focus on TikTok. I was getting the views that I deserved. Like, I am finally doing it. Zipporah, big head out to here. I'm so cool. Everybody loves me. Some of my followers were like attacking the haters. So cocky and ridiculous. And for what? I started going live, and that's when my account really started blowing up. To me. Some people will say that over 12,000 followers is not blowing up. The haters and creators go hand in hand on TikTok. That just is the culture. Like, oh my gosh, they're calling me old. I need to wear makeup every single time I'm live. And they would start calling me fat. I didn't realize, but I was like not eating the way that I should have. You gotta be like, yeah, like the life of the party. And so I started drinking. And this is probably the worst part of the video for me, is admitting that I was drinking a liter of vodka in like a week. I was using marijuana every day, and on the days that I didn't, I was just not fun to be around. I didn't see it as a problem. Now I realize that it was. It can mess up your life. That's what was happening. Something that I didn't realize. I realized it, but I didn't really come to terms with it until I was writing my outline for this video. I have a drinking problem. I hope that I'm not like disappointing you guys, but I just had to be honest, and that's part of this channel, is for me to be honest and transparent, not only with you, but also with myself. And I felt like I had it under control, but in all reality, I didn't. I'm not gonna drink. I knew that it was important for me to admit that it would end up ruining my life, and it wasn't worth it. I can't even tell you how long it's been since I've had a drink, but I know that it's been a good amount of time, and I'm proud of myself every time I walk by the alcohol aisle at Walmart and don't get anything, because it's still a struggle for me. I think it really picked up whenever I was accepted into the Creators Fund, and then my views went way down. With that, so did my confidence. TikTok is where I thrived. Like, how are my views like so bad? Like, yes, I was getting paid to make TikToks, but my videos were lame. Every time I would post something, I'd be like cringy. No, delete that. So I decided to participate in BetterHelp and do therapy online. They paired me with a therapist that at first I thought would, get it. And so our first session, I kind of just spilled all of the beans. I'm very private. I don't tell people my business, but here I am putting it on the internet. Okay, that makes no sense. He's like, okay, we got this. We'll make a plan. So then a lot of stuff starts happening. I'm getting stalked actively. I'm starting to realize issues that I have with my dad. Well, our next session rolls around, and he does not remember anything that we had talked about. Not one thing. He told me that because I wasn't having stress-induced dreams, that everything was fine. He was already paid, so he didn't really care about taking my issues seriously, which is very dangerous in a therapy profession. He could have sent me over the edge. So I just avoided all of those issues. I had missed like a week of my nighttime lives, and I finally was back and having a good time. There was like 20-25 people, which is a pretty good amount of people. Somebody posted my address in the chat, and I was just like my legit address, like where I was at right at that moment. There's a lot of creepy people on TikTok. I have 2 children. I'm a single mom. Like, who knows who was in there? I kept my kids off of the screen. I don't post them, which I'll do a video all about why I no longer post them publicly. But anyways, I found out that it had to have been somebody that I know. This had become my safe space. I had already shared so much of me. For someone to expose my address just was too much. Is this worth it? I was going to quit my job to do something that made me happy. That was not TikTok. And I knew that before, but I convinced myself that this is what I was supposed to be doing because my views and my followers were high. The content that I was making was pointless. I want to be able to look at my content and be like, yeah, like I did that. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that video. I wanted to be a content creator to help people. And that might sound stupid to some of you, but that's why I'm here. At the end of the day, I had to realize that YouTube was my passion. I've been editing videos for 14 years. All of the things that I've dealt with in my life leading up to this point were for YouTube. I'm not the person that can just go to a dead-end job and be okay with it. Like, I am so thankful to each and every one of you who watches my video. Like, you really will never understand how much it means to me to have you guys in my life. I will be here, and I hope you will be too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. If you're not already, please subscribe. Or you could not, whatever. Like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment down below if you got through the whole thing. Send me one of those little sucker emojis. That'd be cool. You can also follow me on Instagram at @thezapora. I also have a Facebook page. Turn on the post notifications, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!